And on Monday, Frank Seravalli floated the idea of the Leafs buying out TJ Brodie this week, which is kind of interesting. He's got 1 year left at $5 million. A buyout would clear out all of Brodie's $5 million cap hit in year one. It would be $2.5 million in year two. Should the Leafs buy out TJ Brodie?
Tough one, man. Tough one. I mean, you're looking at, I don't know, I was reading this morning, they've got $9 million to work with. That doesn't count putting Jake Muzzin on long-term IR, which would open up another, can't remember exactly, but pretty substantial amount.
Yeah.
And if they can do something with Matt Murray's contract, all of a sudden you're up over that $15 million a year to work with in the salary cap. So it all depends on what do you plan on replacing TJ Brodie with. Is he a perfect Norris Trophy winning defenseman? Well, no, but I liked him at a lot of points in time. There were some times where he got kind of scrambly and out of position, and it was like, what the hell was that? I really wish he was more physical. I wish he played with more jam, more grit. I wish he was tougher in a sense where he would, play a little bit meaner. So I'm not against buying him out. That's kind of a big chunk of change to pay a guy who doesn't have all those attributes, but at the same time, he fills some holes. He can move the puck. He can eat up some big minutes. So it all depends on what you have your eyes on as far as replacing him. And if you got, your lines in the water and you've got some ideas and you've had some talks with some people and some GMs and some backdoor conversations about who you can get your hands on, if it makes sense, pull the trigger.
I say no way. I get what you're saying, but to base this on one tough year by TJ Brodie, I think is egregious. Not to mention, I know for a fact this guy was dinged up for the majority of the season. He wasn't healthy. His postseason was not great. Having said that, again, there's that relationship to Brad Treliving from their days with Calgary. I just think this would be the last guy, maybe famous last words. I think this would be the last guy that Brad Treliving looked at buying out. Like, I get why it makes sense to have no cap hit going into this summer, freeing up like $5 million, I think would be fantastic. And knowing the cap's going up next summer would be huge. But that $5 million, so you take TJ Brodie out, you're looking for a replacement for TJ Brodie, and you're probably going to use that money. Is there a name out there on the market that makes sense that's such a huge upgrade over TJ Brodie? If there is, I can't find them. The trade market's a different story, but again, you have to give up assets. I just don't think it makes sense to get rid of a guy like TJ Brodie, who I'm expecting a bounce back season from.
Yeah, and that's the gamble. That's the coin flip. How does this guy perform this year? I mean, we already got his name out there as potential buyout, so that's kind of a confidence rubber. But you have a conversation with him, and his relationship with Treliving is probably decent. And and tell this guy he's not going anywhere. You're our guy. I didn't even think he had that bad of a season last year. He says, "Oh, I can be a hell of a lot better. I'm doing this, that, and the other thing in the summer to make sure that happens." Okay, awesome. Let's get on track with you. You're our guy, and away you go. And then you roll the dice. Hopefully that works. Or you have your eye on something else in the free agent market, or you think you can get this guy or upgrade in this way. You'll cut him loose and you use that money and try to upgrade. That's the GM's job. And to sit here and say this is right and that's right is wrong, because we don't know what's right. We don't have a crystal ball. You got to roll the dice and at the end of the day, make a decision that you think has the best probability of working out. And it's fun because we get to sit here and watch what Treliving does and say, okay, this is what he's thinking, and then go into the season with his decisions.